How y'all doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome back to my channel, Days of Danny. I appreciate you visiting me today. I'm here to talk about the Married at First Sight Season 10, Episode 13. 13 or 14? And I am so happy you joined me. Thank you. It's been a crazy week. Crazy month. I don't know. I'm all over the place. I guess that's why I'm a little late this week. It's just been so much. Now we got to make masks. Have y'all been making masks or finding masks? It's crazy. Definitely has been, the world is up, turned upside down. So I hope everybody's staying safe. Just want to dive right in. So probably won't go couple by couple, but because it's basically they were all together this episode. So yeah, they're all getting ready and packed up, each one of them, for their couples retreat. We see Katie and Derek, and they're the first ones there. They get to pick the big room, and they seem to be in a good, they're in a good mood and things like that when they first get there, so that's good. The next the next couple that comes up is Jessica and Austin. Jessica and Austin, of course, they're in a good mood. We see them packing, and they drive up, and they're the second ones there. And Katie and Derek show them around to find their room. We see Brandon. The first time we see we see him by himself, kind of in his little confessional, talking about how he did not see Taylor all night. She didn't come home. He said that she went out to meet up with some friends, and then ended up back at their hotel, and I guess couldn't make it and fell asleep at the hotel. And I guess she had contacted him and let him know, but she didn't make it home till the next day. So, of course, we see them driving up, and Taylor's driving, and she's kind of rolling her eyes, looking at him side-eyed, and he's kind of like silent, and you already can tell that the vibe is not good. So, of course, that's just the beginning of their little situation. And he's saying, in his little confessional that, he's kind of not really looking forward to going up there because he's really not, vibing with the couples or haven't really gotten to know them. But of course, that's his fault because he's the one that cussed them all out on the honeymoon. So they're probably not even really like feeling him either. But, again, that was his fault. Once they get there, we see Taylor and Mika kind of hook up together, and they're talking. And Mika comes up. Mika and Michael come up, and Michael's not saying anything. And Taylor's kind of, what's going on or whatever. And, Mika's just doesn't really want to say anything at first. Michael and Brandon go outside, and they're chilling by themselves, having a drink, talking, because they kind of are one and the same. And they kind of, I guess, they're friendly with each other. So the couples all are in the kitchen, and they're making tacos and kind of talking, and they get to sit down, and they all sit down around the table, and it looks like, Jessica and Austin get to sit together on one side, and then there's Katie, and then Mika and Taylor are sitting together, and then Derek sits across from Katie next to Taylor. So there goes the start of this whole situation where, they're kind of just chilling, they're drinking, they're eating, and Katie is just watching how Derek is acting and how he's kind of moving, with the other ladies in the group or everyone else, and she's just not feeling it. She just starts complaining like, look at you, look how you're acting. You don't act that way with me. That's how she talked too. You don't act like that with me. And Taylor's kind of just being funny, and she's drinking it up. Her and Derek, they're all kind of drinking, and Taylor probably just trying to get her mind right because she's dealing with her husband and trying to have fun. Katie was just not feeling that, and Taylor says, you're lucky, Katie. You lucky you have him. He's such a good guy. You lucked out. And Katie was like, ugh, I'm gonna throw up. She gets up from the table twice. Once she gets up and Mika and Jessica goes after her and kind of talks to her, lets her know, it's okay. And she's like, I do everything and I don't understand. Y'all don't understand. He doesn't put any effort into our relationship. I'm the one, driving this whole, relationship. And I can't believe that, it's just hard to hear that, oh, he's the great guy, but I'm the one that looks like the asshole. Well, you kind of look like an asshole. And I get it. I feel her. I understand that, but it may not have been the place to do that. Like, that's the problem. Like, this is where you pull your husband aside and say, hey, I'm uncomfortable with you. This is what I see. I would like to see that type of person, but for me, give me some of that attention that you're giving these other people instead of this other person that I'm seeing. And it just doesn't seem authentic. That's how she should have went about it. But no, she has a hissy fit like a little kid would because she's a young little girl, and that's why. And so the first time she left the table, they go and see about her, and Taylor does not. Not sure why. If all the girls are getting up, you would think that she would, but I think a little bit of Taylor was kind of being a little, I don't want to say mean girl, but just kind of like, psh. Or she just didn't care. She was just more like, I don't care. You're stupid. And I don't know why you're pissed off. I'm the one sitting here with this asshole of a husband, and you have this good guy. This is what I'm thinking she's thinking in her head. You have this good guy, and I don't know why you acting like you got so many issues. And basically they're all just feeling sorry for themselves and can't believe any one of them are any worse than each other. So she goes back to sit at the table, and then something else is said wrong and she doesn't like it, so she storms out again. So that's when Derek, you need to go handle that. You need to go see about your wife. So he finally gets up and goes, and she's just trying to tell him, and he's like, well, what are you upset about? You think I'm flirting with Taylor? Now you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. Now, I mean, definitely you did a little bit much. You probably, I don't know, sat a little further from Taylor. If you felt like you knew your wife was uncomfortable, then you should have made her comfortable. Plain and simple. There shouldn't have been no egging it on, because a little bit it felt like it was kind of egged on. Like, Katie, ha ha ha, you're getting upset, you're getting a little jealous, let's do a little bit more. He he he. But that's how kids do. They, have it out, and Katie's kind of cussing him out a little bit, and but she really isn't making. She's making sense, but like I said, she did not have to go about it the way she did. So he leaves her alone because she just was not trying to hear him. They go back and sit at the table. They went to sit back at the table. But later on, we see Mika and we see them all trying to go to bed. So Mika and Michael, Mika's like, I'm not really feeling this. We're not really talking, so there's no reason for us to be faking the funk. So you go on and sleep in the other room, please. So Michael's like, all right, word. I'm with it. So he goes and sleep in the other room, just like the honeymoon, and it's just a sad situation. Then we see Derek try to go and talk to Katie. Katie has her cover over her head and trying to ignore him. And Derek kind of talks to the covers like, hey, I'm sorry, that I made you feel that way. I never meant to make you feel that way. Hope you can forgive me. And he goes to bed and he doesn't even get out of his clothes. He goes to bed. So, then we see Jessica and Austin, and they're going to bed, and Jessica's like, what the hell did we get ourselves into? This is supposed to be a retreat, and, these other couples are tripping. And, at the dinner table, Jessica and, had made, that's another thing, at the dinner table, she said, I told Austin I love him, and, he didn't say it back, but, and they were all happy for her. But it kind of was like, that's when Katie started going left. That's what Katie started going left. She, jealous, just jealous. That's exactly what she wants. Or, well, he didn't say it, so I guess it's not really what but she still wants that. And, no, it's not happening for her. But Jessica is going to bed regretting even saying anything about her happiness because she knows everybody else is not, having that same experience, unfortunately. And it is what it is. But she should not be pulling back from, her feelings. And she should be able to express her happiness, her and her husband. Because that's not her fault. The last couple that were that evening, Taylor, she goes out and she sees Brandon. Brandon's kind of fiddling with his phone, and she goes and sits on his lap and, kind of just all in his face and looking at his phone. And he's like, and she's like, what's going on, and he's, she says she saw something about a picture of her on a site, I guess one of his clients that he sells beer to. And he said, yeah, I know. I seen it. I guess someone sent it to him. And I don't know. They're just so tit for tat. And I seen what you did and type of, it's just, ugh. There's no communication. It's not even a relationship yet. It's just really, let me show you what I can do. Okay, well then let me show you what I can do type of situation. So, yeah. Then they started going at it. They're just upset. And Taylor's like, he says, well, you never did come home. And she's like, you knew I wasn't coming, or you knew I was going out with my friends. You said you were going to work. I wanted you to hang out with me. And you said you were going to work. So I said, well, since you're going to work, I will drop you off. Which, by the way, does he not have a car, or what's going on? She said, I will drop you off and then I'll go hang out with my friends for a little while. And then I drove them back to their hotel. And then I fell asleep and I called you and let you know. And you knew this. So what are you making a big deal of it? And then you decided not to work and you went home. So it seems to me that whole scenario was, oh, let me see what she gonna do. Oh, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna play the poor soul that was husband that was sitting at home waiting for her, and she's going to be out with her friends, and it's going to make her look bad. That's what it sounds like to me. So it sounds like you had an agreement, but you decided to go ahead and make her look bad. That's what it sounds like. So, they get all upset. She's so upset. She calls him a B. She said, "Nah, bitch." And he was like, "Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear what she called me?" Yeah. But I mean, hey, when you feel like you're being set up or being made to be looked at, being made to look a lie, I think sometimes, you gotta let a person know. So it is what it is. After that, Taylor walks off, and Brandon's like, to take my mic off. The producer's like, well, don't take that mic off. That's not your property. And Brandon's like, what? What you mean? What? I'm gonna take this mic off, which I don't get that, because that's something that's on me. I can take it off if I want to. I don't understand. So that was an issue. They go so far as to go back and forth. He goes back and forth with the producer and says, you ain't it, and even tells the one of the lady camera, I don't know if she's a producer also, you ain't nothing either. And it was just awful. He was just showing his behind. Like, why was you even there then? If you don't want to be a part of the show, just leave. Why did you come back? Because you want to check. But anyway, he goes in there and tries to pack his little bag and wants to leave, and Taylor kind of corners him in the bathroom and says, come on, you want to stay? And they have a camera on him somehow, some way, or he pulls out his camera phone, says, let me, he's like, get off me, don't touch me. I'm like, you are so dramatic. Come on, man. That would have just left me right there. I would have been like, I can't do this. I don't understand why she keeps staying with it. Eventually they come out the bathroom, and she's still like, I don't know what's going on. Like, first of all, whatever she's trying to pull, she's not a good actress. Let's just put it, I'm gonna just say that. I don't know. Taylor, she's trying to make everything okay, but he just says, no, I don't want to do this anymore. The next morning they get up. We see Katie and Derek, and he let me see. They went outside and talked at some point. And they were, on the porch, and she's kind of letting him know that I just can't do this. I can't. This was the night before, though. They go back and forth, and he's like, well, I can't. I can't. Oh, what does she say? They just go back and forth. They basically are just trying to get it out. She's letting him know, you're not giving me enough. You make me look like I'm this bad guy, but I need more from you. You're a whole nother person. And he's like, well, I'm just trying to be myself. And yeah, that was their little argument on the porch. The next morning they're up and they're cooking breakfast. Michael and Brandon are getting ready to go back to DC. Brandon already had planned to go back anyway because he was going to work, supposedly. And Michael says he has to go to take care of some arrangements because he had a family member that passed away. So he has to go take care of the flowers, apparently. So, and Brandon is, says he's not, about to say goodbye to anybody. And Michael went in there. He told, everybody that at one time, even his wife, that he had to go back to DC to take care of the arrangements. And he never even said anything to Mika. Mika's like, all right, how you gonna be my husband and you're not even saying anything to me? How am I the only supposed to know collectively with these group of people? But anyway, there was a whole big ordeal when they're trying to leave, and Brandon gets in the van. He locks the doors, and I guess he doesn't really want the cameras in there, or he's just not trying to film it, or having a big production about it. He's just trying to leave, and he locks the doors, and Michael can't get in, and it was a craziness. And they were like, "Well, we're not gonna go anywhere unless you let them in." So, at some point, Brandon gets out and he starts walking somewhere, and that was some craziness. And they all, they're all sitting to breakfast, the rest of them, and they're worried. Taylor's looking outside. Jessica's like, "Sit down, just sit down, just don't even worry about it. Let him be what he's doing." And Jessica, little mama. And I guess finally they got it together, and Brandon and Michael and the crew left and went back to DC so they can take care of some business. Jessica and Austin, they go away on their day and went to the caverns and have a nice little day, taking pictures and, a little romantic time away from them crazy people. And I'm sure they enjoyed it. Taylor and Mika had to become a couple because their husbands left them, and they went off to some type of paranormal house where they can talk to the ghost. And they had a fun time together. They seemed to have, enjoy their time. Luckily, both their husbands left so they can have each other. And then we see Derek. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna steal a cart." And so he says, "Come on, Katie," and they act like they're still in a cart, a golf cart, and have this little excursion. And she's driving, and which I don't know how they stole it, because there's cameras, because somebody got to be taking a photo of this, or filming this. So okay. When she's like, "Oh, we're having hood rad fun." What? Okay. But she seems to think that this is just right up her alley. And yeah, finally Derek just doing something that's different. So yeah, so they have their hood rat fun. And like I said, Mika and Taylor, they go and see the paranormal, and they're talking to the ghost and asking it questions, and that was pretty cool. Then they all meet back up at the house that they're renting, and they're having a cookout. They're all sitting outside and they're eating, and then Michael pulls up and he's "Hey, how y'all doing?" And they're asking him, how was it? And he's like, "Oh, it was good. I got some things done." Jessica's really grilling him, "Okay, so did you see your family? Did you take care of your business?" And he's like, "Well, I took care of what I could, but I, had some time constraints, but I did what I could when I could." And she's like, "Well, why not? Well, I thought you got there. What time did you get there?" He was like, "Well, there's some traffic, and but we got there, and then we had to go get Brandon's clothes for his work, and then we took him back to work." Y'all might in there "Wait a minute, you took him to get his clothes and then back to work, and why didn't you get your own car?" Mika said, "And why were the producers driving you around all these places?" And they were like, "Yeah." And Jessica was like, "What?" She's like, "Well, if you had to do all of this, wouldn't it have been more sensible for you to go take care of your own stuff, or drop him off on the curb and then go take care of your business?" And he's like, "Yeah," but Mika's like, "See what I'm saying?" He couldn't even keep a straight, he could keep his lie straight, basically. he, because Jessica was on it like, wait, what? Huh? Well, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that? And Michael was just like, oh, Lord, not another one. And Austin was just sitting back like, okay, I'm going to just let them have that. Poor Michael. And Mika was like, yeah, see? Y'all thought I was crazy. I told you he be all over the place with his stories. I told y'all. And Jessica was like, I'm going to just shut up. Okay, well, I guess he went to DC for nothing. He didn't really need to go, and now he's back and whatever. So yeah, and basically Jessica, also Taylor was just like, that's some bull. I mean, they were all on him. It was crazy, but so that was really pretty much how it ended. Brandon never came back. He did text. He texted Taylor and said, "You have fun with your retreat," and basically, deuces. I ain't returning. And Michael left off the table when they were grilling him and was just like, I don't need to be treated like a child. I'm tired of this, and got up and left. And that's pretty much how the episode ended. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. Pretty sad for two of the couples. Katie and Derek were kind of sad also, but they fake worked it out. And once again, Jessica and Austin are the champs. But yeah, that was the first half, I guess. I don't know if they'll still be at the retreat next episode. Next episode is the last episode until the reunion or the decision day. Sorry. So we shall see. Basically, we'll be wrapping it up, or who's gonna be with who. At this point, I'm thinking Taylor and Brandon should be over again. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all felt about the retreat and what happened, and Katie's hissy fit, and Taylor, getting drunk and kind of just a little bit flirty, but also telling Brandon off. Brandon leaving, and who are you, like Team Taylor or Team Brandon? Give me some feedback, and y'all make sure you like and share and comment, and subscribe to my channel, please. And y'all have a good night, and stay safe and stay clean and wash your hands, and let's pray that we all get through this. Y'all have a good night.